If that was to be the case, I'd get a little more concerned. Because they are the biggest talent factory in the world, but indeed they are. So I feel like I maybe just have to hit on the spell book. They don't see this. They do need to, well, they do have flashes. Can they get a wall stun? Unlikely. Can they shove about back though? Yeah. Little trade doesn't lead to all that much. A fun idea from Palkia that doesn't really lead to too much more. But actually, the Arc of Judgment hitting allows about to be chunked out. Leave now forcing an Arc of Ruin because he hits level 6, gets the flash. It's an extended play, but it works out. And that's why Leave didn't immediately. That movement is what Grounding is worried about, basically. You're not able to hang on, connects with the ultimate. Blind Fire comes on in with the quickness, but it will not be enough. Flash away to keep out from under the turret. Palkia needs to back away, but doesn't take an additional turret shot. Nice from Xiao Hao. Just exploded! The burst is gone! That's the jungle support coming through, and this is one of the reasons why we're seeing more Ambessa jungle. Some teams prioritize it very, very heavily, and you understand why. Ambessa, even from the jungle role with less gold than a top lane position, can just one-shot a carry. I believe it doesn't actually have all that much to work with here as the Chains of Corruption comes on down. We forced to cleanse, got a little bit nervous. Looking to see whether EDG can convert the early start to something a bit more cube. Opportunity of the early Renekton shove to get another plate there. That's a nice start for cube. Oh, bot lane. Let's get jumped on with Palkia behind, denying easy options out, shoving to his own Cataclysm wall. Is Monkey Shockwave on 2. Nice denial. Karras still goes on forward. Looking to threaten that one. Gets the kill. Very nicely done. Karras, slick on the Akali. It's become bread and butter for him, really. He picks it when it's available. And you know, we were saying, well, you know, they first pick the Varus. Don't you first pick the Orianna? I remember this happening in Demacia Cup now, too, where they would just let the Orianna go over so they can pick the Akali into it. Karras is happy with the matchup, gets his first kill participation. Although WE can't stick around the bot river to take the dragon afterwards. Honestly, I thought the thing about the Gunblade is that it's good in burst trades too, right? The slow so you can get that E on target means that you can absolutely go into like the Rift Maker second or whatever. Quite scary actually. Q max Jarvan with one item. Could be quite scary there. Xiao Hao a little behind an XP, jumping onto, wow. Oh, blind look maxing here as Palkia goes over the wall to no avail. Actually, he's going towards Xiao Hao. I see the thought process there. They're now pretty deep. Angel roaming over. I've got Karras around though, so this will be a 3v2 at best. And Xiao Hao's kind of caught in the middle of two members there. Will be forced to Drakehound step away with a Lacerator. I think Palkia thought there was no vision over the wall, so the dunk wouldn't come through. There was a ward in there. Leave will successfully recall. So he won't be on the chopping block their academy team. Herion would be able to tell us, actually. We're back to Star Wars references. Eventually, you list. Look, if a game goes long enough, we will somehow make our way back. They choose not to. You know that they basically had to finally say, oh, if you're voting on the Oscars, by the way, you can watch the films. Yeah. Palkia's going to punt him out. I think he's still dead. Palkia's been punished quite a lot in this game so far. As in WE, the skirmishing power we saw with all of this mobility in the follow-up potential, very, very strong. Karras gets his first kill. Gunblade off to the races. Bot side, though, at least Herald is dropped. There will be a cross. Remember, the first turret does give bonus gold now, too. They take that. Angel can right then into the end of the turret, looks like, too. So get a little extra gold there from 2 plates coming through so far. Do they get the third? Should do it, Nick. Can we get a third plate down there? Yes, they do just about. On the other side, though, Karras finishes off the full top lane out turret. Next dragon spawning about 15 seconds, and EDG are on the bot side of the map. Karras isn't there, doesn't have ult. I don't know how easy it would be to actually fight with dragon should they so choose. Smite onto the bomb, secures it for Monkey, but again means the smite won't necessarily be up. Get the burst out, that little bit of HP building. Makes some sense to me, still be a decent amount of damage threat. Dragon started, WE on it. Xiao Hao can always ult into the pit if he wants to go for a smite steal. They can also go for the Ambessa. Well, the ball's on him. Watch out for the Orianna Ambessa combo. Comes the exhaust, Palkia continuing to threat, but I don't know how much he's going to do. There's a TP, the Ambessa ult goes wide, flash on him from Yaya with the quickness, gets the knock, needs to back away, about now in danger himself. That's a bit far, EDG the teleport, will Pathmaker away, oh no WE, that is not how you team fight. There was just no peel for about. The rest of the team not able to peel for the Varus. ZDC's all out is now down. Presses W. Monkey takes some damage, but that is not a tanky Cassandra. He's gone into squishy mode. Will have indeed done that. Will get the Q3 pullback. Flash from Karras to get the back lane. Does have that Gunblade auto to come on through as well. Xiao Hao now in danger. Another bit of that perfect execution. Misses his Shuriken flip, but still gets on top of Lead, who gets knocked up by the Grand Entrance. Much better from WE at the back end of the play. However, during that play, the Shockwave did kill Monkey, so get Jungler down as well. Full kill count is what, 2 for the guy's an absolute legend of the scene. But he's still retained pretty good individual form. Dragon started again.
Q3 gets that pattern forward, trying to be that front line. Nice steadfast presence. Karras goes in and immediately gets grounded in place. Public execution wide once more. It was a little bit of an ambitious one, but still. Come on, Xiaohao.
Not sure if that was just out of vision there at the end of it. There was water in the tri-brush. Great combo. Get absolutely poppied. Angel caught out now, though.
Flashes away. Steadfast presence to prevent Yao Yao getting into the back end of it all. Angel looking to punish potential rotation. Will be forced to burn the flash, but does allow Leave to get the turret, I think, as a result of the play around that pixel bush.
So Dragon kill turret. Really good social media metrics go. Potential jump over the wall here. Angel does not have a flash. Karras is coming over. Shockwave does actually stop the first part of the ultimate. It won't stop the second one. Karras is trying to ult out. Now he's behind the turret. Karras is going to die for this, so it will end up being 1 for 1. After, hang on a second, very nearly a 2 for 1. The E landing was nasty, and Gunblade Shadow Flame does a lot of work. Does Monkey die for it too? This could end up being extended. 1 for 2. Monkey jumps onto Palkia. It's not going to help him. 1 for 2. WE go way too deep. Now, what this does mean is that there's going to be a turret fully taken in mid lane, so WE do get something else for it. Suppose that means it's an even trade. Tower equal to a kill, arguably strict. EDG taking top lane turret. So we've had a couple of tower trades. We had mid lane. Palkia. The Akali E. Karras has not enjoyed playing against this Poppy. No surprise. Smite onto El Scutel. And Monkey... Wow, Monkey is just not allowed to play. He's just not allowed to play. Fire Assault comes through. Damage onto Xiaohao. It's not enough, though. Your jungler's dead. Jungler's dead a minute before Dragon. You'll lose that one. Do they look for a bigger fight? Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Leave. Runs forwards. Can you get an extra slow? No. About will be able to escape. EDG, take 1 kill. I mean, there's 30 seconds till Dragon. It's a bit of damage down to him. Yao Yao. Looking for a something around the side. Cube goes into the pit immediately. Wall suddenly really punts it out. Well, there goes the crocodile. No contest from Cube. He has to teleport in. Cube, my dude, the objective's gonna be gone. Smite it away. Cube into the play again. Shockwave whiff. That's 1 dead from the side of EDG already as Yunara goes down. So AD carry out of the equation. EDG, can they get themselves a retreat? Well, that's 2 dead for them now. That's definitely not going to help. We said it was going to be risky. It seems like we've been proven right. Karras has himself the E. It's on target. Arrow comes through. Karras doesn't follow it back. 3 out right now. Varasol hitting and it'll lock down that jungler, who dies for the attempt. 4 dead now. Monkey does not have the dunk. He won't be able to close down the 5th. EDG, it was a mistake to go to Baron. And funnily enough, didn't we just call that out? It looks like that was fairly obvious. EDG lose their AD carry. Leave died. And that's going to be 2 turrets. How much? Hang on a second. How much else did they lose? Did they lose the inhibitor? It won't be the game. Quite impressive player. In fact, actually, he destroyed Team WE in the Knights Rival stage, I believe it was, actually. To knock them out of last year. It's not Demacia Cup Monkey anymore. Monkey's had a mixed game. Of course, playing into the Poppy, pretty difficult. But on the whole, he's been very impactful, as we expect Monkey to be, I suppose. Dragon started up, would be 3rd Dragon, 3D Chi. Oh, Cube dodges out the Shockwave. Angel, it's another whiff. It's another whiff, and now suddenly the Shockwave threat is gone. Palkia has his ult. Can he use that to change the equation? Looks like WE just don't want to contest. I think they're afraid of the Poppy ultimate, amongst other things, I suppose. And even with a whiff, the Seekers going towards the full death cap instead, though, not going towards the Zhonya's completion right now. It looks hard for Akali to play. How does he turn the tide? Get a good flank. Oh, come on, stream goes black. If you want yourselves an official broadcast, you're going to have to make some noise. We don't have these kinds of pauses anymore. About 12,000 arrow over the wall. Poppy is dead again. Karras goes golden. Uses that Seekers he's been saving up. Angel has himself a Shockwave. Karras does have his ultimate. Does miss the E. Again, this is what you get with a bootleg. Oh, Monkey. Yeah, well, that's the follow-up. Monkey is deleted. Monkey C, Monkey gone. Dead jungler. No objectives up right now, but you really don't want to be losing members like that so easily. Good punish by the Shockwave, and then Xiaohao heal from EDG. Well, hang on, that's a good ult onto Monkey. If they can get rid of the engage, it changes the equation. The Renekton punted out, the jungler dead. Remember, with the objectives coming up, and him dead for 50 seconds. They gave team-wide buffs, and then they've taken them away. Dragon spawning will be soul for EDG if they get it. Yam, half HP. Remind it. Whoever finds the first engage and gets some damage onto the backline probably wins. Well, actually, no, EDG don't need damage onto the backline. Cube ports out. Late game Renekton him. Not the tankiest. A lot of damage onto him. Leave great damage onto him too, though. Now that means that Akali can 100% destroy him. Monkey looking for an angle. Great damage from about onto him. That might win them the dragon. That might win them the dragon. Yeah, I don't think it's safe to fight this now. Yeah, walking over. EDG might go for a smite fight, but guys, you're not doing it with your AD carry. Stop this recall. Jumping forwards, and that's good damage onto him. About will one-shot the Unara, but the dragon goes to WE. They miss the smite to EDG. They go for the fight. They lose the objective, and they're going to lose, what, 2-3 members? WE get a huge chunk onto the Unara, thanks to about Tavares, and now position now where they can start wrangling the map. Baron to WE. All 5 members. Presence fell. Good chunk onto leaving that last fight, as we were saying, winning them the situation. More poke onto Angel there was quite potent too. Varus ultimate. Well, just speaking well about. And, that was less good. This is that one, but whatever. It's a bit of a free play. It's the end of the Baron buff. No, it wasn't. We got middle left of it. I don't know if it's because there was a timer on the other side of the screen going down as well. Not a timer, kill feed thing. Them changing the overlay has really messed with some of my instincts for watching this stuff. Okay, quick reload of the stream. That happens. So we jump forwards very briefly here. There you go. Oh my god. Arrow onto the again. Look at that work from the bow. It's genuinely very impactful. Palkia caught out again. All coming through from Cube. Monkey jumping forwards. And because, well, the Unara's gone back, there's no damage. They just chunked out the Unara, so they're not there for the fight. If you're going to recall your AD carry, you have to make sure you're safe. Unara now comes in, but he's melee range of a Renekton. Melee range of the Renekton. And WE dive in and mince up EDG. From a very dominant game to objective mistakes, EDG have only themselves to blame for this game as WE clutch out, punishing the mistakes. There'll be a teleport back in towards the Nexus. EDG, this one's on them. WE clean up the game around some big objective fights, and they'll take game 1 of the series in a matchup we had considered them underdogs. Boy, Harold. I'm sure that Malphite can. I just think that Malphite in practice can't farm as well as Mundo, often falls behind in gold. And then Mundo just 3 groups now, basically an S tier, A tier, and B tier. This is our kind of like our middle group, the A tier. EG seems to be a little better. We'll list those gyros. Oh, was that level 2 for Yayo, or was that for... Huh. No, he started with the ricochets. We must have had level 2 from the minion before that. Funnily enough, Monkey, not the first Mundo jungle player to exist on WE. Hang, their jungler beforehand, was pretty much the only Mundo jungle player in LPL for a while. So EDG's bot lane really getting a leg up on About and Yayo. I'd imagine both these teams have played that bot lane matchup a lot to understand that that's a break point. Level 1, if Sivir can ghost at you and get an auto-attack reset, that's probably a big turning point in the lane. So if you deny the auto-attack reset, then probably the all-in late is a little harder. Monkey walking bot side. I don't really think there's much for you to... Interesting. Malphite going top side, likely to recall soon. What you tend to do is recall in the enemy jungle, and as you're recalling at the end of it, you drop a ward over the wall. Means you have information for the second cleared jungle. Mundo will do the same on bot side most likely, but he's actually walked... No, he put a ward a little bit shallower. Put one in Tribrush, but he's not exactly tracking the enemy jungle path. So what happens now in this jungle matchup is... once you get to kind of first reset and first item, mid-game, Mundo really has a lot more damage. Hang on, the Chompers land. That's a big mistake, Yao. Melee compared to playing a Enchanter, very, very different. Yao goes down for the first death of the game. Big mistake. Palkia got the kill. Yeah, he did, but it means you get full wave. Can drop a like or review onto any of these, really. Makes a lot of sense. But it makes a lot of difference to us because we're kind of starting to try and make our way through the social algorithm, right? cool to see a lot of viewership on YouTube for Onivia as well. Of course, the thing is, obviously, with every year there are new with us. I'm really gonna have to catch up with this. Wow. Nice. Okay, I just watched a clip on the old Twitter. Thank you so much for the resub, Time Lord. Appreciate you. Or the sub. I don't know whether that's just one of those, because when it shows up like that with the announcements, sometimes it's like someone's gifted a sub and you're just basically reconfirming it, which is cool. Watch, but there's behind like a paywall because, I mean, you know, I see value in doing them. They can be quite energy intensive to do, but I'm trying to think about doing different things. You know, trying to make actually a bit more of a career out of it, you know? So what happened here? So this is what happened here. You got hit by the morning mist, and then those things hit him. And then what happened here? Did he just get hit by another one? What happened? And he just crashed, which he couldn't use to escape this one now. Of course, if EDG win this, we go to a third game. I tell you what, though, folks, I am missing Blind Pick Game 3. I feel like Fearless Game 3... I know that technically Fearless is meant to be at its peak in later games of the series. I talked about this on a couple of podcasts now at this point. I'm starting to not like last games of it. No, I know. I'm continuing to not like... Movements around the map with 10 seconds until Dragon Xiaohao. Oh my god, Karis. Flip back? Not quite. Not quite. Xiaohao could have flash ulted that into the combo. Jumping on towards leave. Ghost pops immediately, about out of mana. Jinx cancelling the recall with the ult. Thank you for the follow there, Patchy. Leave, continuing to push in here. Storm Razor first. Interesting. Yes, that is an item again, by the way. Storm Razor added back into the game. Hungarian LCK gang arrived. Oh, did LCK just finish? I saw that T1 were very dominant in that game 3. Saw a Doran triple kill, which was cool. Oh, don't mind the stutters in the stream, by the way. There's no clean feed. The clean feed's going... The clean feed for LPL is in a weird spot right now, so we do actually have some stutters. It's just the way that it is. We hope that it'll fix itself over time, but you have to be prepared for occasional Nocturne ults, effectively. Q, trying to trap in ZDZ in the cage. Yeah, there were some bot lane shenanigans where Leave managed to land effectively 2 free ball Jinx traps onto first Yao Yao and then a minute later onto Monkey, which led to kills. But Palkia picks up all of those kills. So we now, oh my god, guys, we have a Protoplasm first Rel. This is great. This is great because one of my issues with Pro support low HP, and then what happened on the top side was Cube flashed for a solo kill, which under ZDZ's turret, but then also died in the attempt, and then died twice after because he didn't have flash. Leave and About trading off in the mid lane. For those of you who don't know About was on Gen.G Global Academy last year, so he's come from the LCK CL in the Gen.G system. And he got a player of the game last game for a Varus game, which was very impactful. It was a very good game for EDG up until the big objectives happened. The potential shove... Well, there's no shove back here. Good flick back. Flashes away. Can Monkey just full-on die? Well, he's certainly going to try. Flashes forwards for the Heartsteel. And he has a lot of healing. Teleport coming through from Not. I think Monkey just walks it out. Xiaohao coming down. Ult in 5 seconds. Who does he go on to? ZDZ might end up taking him down. And indeed he will. They split... Divide and conquer. Karis slides away and fight. Please give him another kill. Please give Palkia another kill. It would be so funny. He's walking away. He's had enough. Bloodthirsty enough. First assist of the game for the Rala. Xiaohao picks up the kill. Oh my god. Does it count as PvE as if you fight Malphite? Isn't it PVR? Player versus Rock. Player versus Rock gaming. You know, the things I do for comedy. Cube punting away at that turret. Jinx ult was being used technically for wave clear there. It does go wide. It's 2 in a row now, which he's missed. Xiaohao didn't use his ult, by the way. Cube has flash. Turret's down. He's dead, I think. Yeah. Cube sticks around too long. This is something we know about Cube. He will often overstay in a lane and die. loving you on Summoning Insight. Well, thank you. It's been, you know, I vaguely grew up with Summoning Insight now, you know. I suppose a little old for that, but, you know, it was something which inspired me in my esports journey with Monty and Thorin, right? Being able to actually be on the show. I mean, I was on there as a guest, to actually be the actual co-host, but that was a very special experience. I hope that people are enjoying it. Hoping that it's good content for you all. And now we'll actually, next week, we'll actually have, you know, games to talk about, you know. Some gold there. Objective Bounty was taken by Cube. Talia walking up there doesn't have teleport. Would have to use ultimate to get back to the play. Monkey's passive still down. Hang on, Monkey's not safe here. The traps are very threatening. Monkey gets the Lulu ultimate. He's sticking around the play for quite a long time. Saves himself somehow. Didn't have the flash for that play. Walking forwards. Xiaohao could ult. Remember, that Malphite ult is just being held. Cube came down to the play, leaving that side lane. Talia in with the wall now. Dragon is available. Would be third dragon for EDG. Very threatening, that. Azir turret. Put up in mid lane. Baron was started, but then again with a tank jungler, you can kind of heal off of it whenever you want. EDG walking down towards Cube, and there goes Angel. Is there going to be a Baron response on the other side? Cube, can they catch him? Teleport coming down. Actually, no, they want to fight this. EDG's taking a ton of damage. I understand why. Is it coming down? He has plenty of damage. EDG's probably dead here. Goes Mega. Doesn't have flash to confirm an ultimate onto these two. Gets the slow. Does he get the stun there? We're zooming out because there's a fight on the other side. Monkey caught out. If the jungler goes down, then that's another situation altogether. Meganar used. Monkey caught out still, but the Wild Growth is put in. Teleport behind them from the Yorick. And I wonder whether EDG have messed up around the late game again. Xiaohao, he's getting some healing coming through. I don't know if it'll be enough. Indeed, it will. He'll be safe. EDG lose one in a play that they started. Xiaohao does have ult. He doesn't have the HP to use it now. He needs to heal off of Krugs. That's why he's going up there and leaving the scene of the crime. Gold lead is now gone. Dragon available. I don't think EDG can fight it. EDG, what has happened? The late game is just not good enough from them. WE so much more clutch. Job. Very cool if you can drop a like or a follow if you're enjoying the content in this gameplay or also wondering what the heck is happening. Angel flies in. Gets that wall down. Monkey taking damage. They go onto the jungler, and the jungler's dead! There's no smite! There's no smite! Oh, EDG, it's just the fight which they need. Sweep. Goes onto... Well, goes on to Leave. Leave can't get himself out into the play. Good Meganar gets onto Karis, so that carry for carry down. Xiaohao decides, screw this, I'm taking the Baron. Kills the jungler, gets the objective. EDG walk out, losing the AD carrier, but taking 2 down and the Baron. Okay, so WE, it's their turn to... Clean feed stuttering again. Again, apologies for that. Can't really control it, sadly. Turret goes down. Baron buff being used well by Talia rocks. So right, hang on. The ultimate coming through from Sivir, going on to ZDZ. He does have an ult threat. He's trying to jump over the wall. Can he get there in time? Yes, just about. Sterak saves his life. Very close, though. Playing with the edge of his HP bar there. Does not have teleport. Sivir ult down. Passive out of Monkey. Tanky enough to walk it off. Mundo has become such enough damage anyway. Yeah, the anti-heal would be really nice, in fairness, it would be. You'd expect someone to get it. Fight around the mid lane, maybe. Palkia takes a chunk from Monkey. Dragon is available. Mountain Soul, of course, would be the prize. Well, not for this one, but for the one after. Leave. Hit by a slow Leave. You gotta be careful with that Sivir ult pop. Redemption put down, and Leave's caught again. He doesn't have flash. He doesn't have ghost. Good damage onto Monkey. Karis goes for the shuffle and manages to get a whole bunch of them. Leave goes down. The Jinx has not been very effective this game, and this time Angel goes down. Karis is carrying WE with these sweeps. Their only form of engage. About will find a rock, take a chisel to it, and Xiaohao. This is Xiaohao's been. Cube will walk down midline. This might be the game. It might be the series. EDG, the big objectives have not been their friend at all. The early game's going in their favor, but the objectives are just not their game today. WE may well finish us off for a 4-game day. It will at least be the inhibitor. 10 seconds left on Leaf. I think they can do it. I think they can. Despite the early game domination from Edward Gaming, despite them coming in as favorites, WE apparently do not give a damn. Much more clutch, much more effective in the team fights around the objectives. Team WE, send EDG pack.